Hi, this is Laura Fudge with Fudge Beauty, and today I'm going to demonstrate a facial using LimeLife product. So my goal today is to do an anti-aging facial. I've had this guest in here many times before, and so we're working together on doing some firming for the skin, increasing the signs of the collagen and elastin reproducing, and essentially just minimizing signs of aging. So she does a phenomenal routine at home, so what's nice is having facials for her just kind of helps to reinforce her routine, and of course it's really relaxing. So I'm going to get started. So after this video or in the comments, I'm going to have links to the protocol, I'm going to have links to the product, and of course let me know if you have questions. I've had a lot of people request me for some demonstrations, so I'm really excited to show you all what's happening. So I'm going to start with makeup removal, cleansing, or pre-cleanse and cleansing. So for makeup removal, I use our Make Off spray. I'm going to wet 2 eye pads, and I'm going to fold them in half and almost where they are 2 next to each other, and spray a couple times with that. I'm going to ask you to look up, please, and close. And then I'm going to use this to gently break down the mascara. This is helps to remove waterproof product as well. It's a vitamin E base, but it is oil free. So this is so super helpful. It's also safe for lash extensions. Not that you'd be removing the makeup off the lash extensions necessarily, but it would do really well to get the eyeshadow as well. Do the other eye. Look up toward me and close. Oops. Go ahead and close. Okay. So because this is an anti-aging facial, I want to introduce our pre-cleanser to her. So our LimeLife Midnight Oil is a oil-based cleanser, which is phenomenal for a nighttime routine, which is why it's called the Midnight Oil Collection. It has argan oil in it, and it is so moisturizing and gentle to the skin that even a cleansing step can be really beneficial. So I'm going to prep with some water. I'm going to do 2 pumps of the Midnight Oil Cleanser. And I'm just simply going to effleurage this product across the skin to help prep for cleansing and break down any extra oil or any extra makeup that's on the skin. It smells phenomenal, so immediately this is going to help engage the parasympathetic nervous system and allow the guests to really relax deeply, especially if we instruct them to take lots of deep breaths through the facial. So after the pre-cleanse, I'm going to let that stay as a layer, and then I'm going to bring in my my cleanser. For anti-aging, typically the guest concern is a lot of dehydration or dry skin. So I'm going to recommend the Quench Cleanse as a cleanser for her. It's our cream-based cleanser, and I'm going to do gently distribute the product over the skin. Careful not to really emulsify it just yet, because I want the cleanser to be working as it cleanses the skin, and if I were to rub it in before, it wouldn't work well. So for cleansing, we want to do simple effleurage, upward circles, really lightweight, light pressure, and making sure to use upward motion so that we can lift the vellus hair and cleanse underneath that. So now that she's cleansed, I'm going to grab a warm towel to do product removal. So from here, we're going to do skin analysis. I'm actually going to give her a mirror, and together we're going to talk about where her areas of concern are. I already know that she has concerns of a reduction in collagen and elastin right here in her chin. And then, do you have any other areas of concern?
It does seem to be drier right around here.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not getting moisturizer.
So some dry spots in the cheeks, okay.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be using an exfoliating mask that will help to reduce some of the dry skin, but also really invigorate the skin prior to using some of my anti-aging serums, which will also reintroduce a lot of hydration and help to firm and bring in lots of moisture and health to the skin. Does that sound good? Okay, wonderful. So the first mask I'm going to do for her is our skin polish mask. This is a lemon and jojoba bead scrub, and it is phenomenally gentle and wonderful to introduce hydration, but also use a layer of exfoliation without being overly intense. So while this is gentle enough that someone can use it every day, the way that I'm going to manipulate it as the esthetician is going to really take it to another level of exfoliation. I'm going to put it on and let it set for 2 minutes prior to doing the manipulations. And while it sets for those 2 minutes, I'm going to do a mini scalp massage to help kind of increase that relaxation and, like I said, engage the parasympathetic nervous system to allow her to relax even further. So I'm making sure it's applied in a rather thin layer because I'd like for it to set, but I want to make sure that it's applied pretty evenly around. I'm using my fingers, but if you really wanted to, you could also use a brush. It's important to help bring in different sensations to the skincare so that the service is very sensually relaxing and invigorating as well. If your guest also has concerns with fine lines and aging in the neck and décolleté, you can include the exfoliation there. Or if you simply just have extra product, you can include it down there. Or perhaps you're doing a 90-minute service and you really want to help flush out the time. By including the neck and décolleté, it can be a really great way to stretch out the time. Okay. So while that sets just a tiny bit, as you can tell, it's kind of it's such a light layer that you can't really see it on the camera, but I'm going to let that set and do some scalp massages. So when I do a scalp massage, I typically like to tilt their head so that I can get to the occipital ridge and do some light, or not light necessarily, but some small circles. Really kind of move the frontalis and other muscles on the scalp to induce that parasympathetic nervous system, because when the whole body relaxes, then our skin can really heal. Our bodies can heal when we give it the right environment. So my goal in all my facials is to simply create the best space for my client's skin to do their own healing, for their own bodies and minds, and emotionally heal and have a lovely space of peace and rest. In my facials, I typically include a lot of massage when the products are processing. Today, I'm not necessarily going to spend a ton of time doing massage because I want to spend most of the time demonstrating, but that's typically how I can fill out the time and really create a wonderful experience for my guests by including like a foot massage, hand and arm massage, as well as neck and décolleté and shoulder massage using effleurage. So as I manipulate this mask, my goal is to really exfoliate, and I want to use long strokes because my goal is to roll off some of the dead skin as if you were rolling off a sunburn, I guess you could say, but this is not nearly as intense. So even though my strokes are going in both directions, the emphasis is on the upstroke because, as you know, we want to lift the skin as much as possible, especially when we're doing an anti-aging facial. I like to spend a significant amount of time in each spot so as to really pick up as much dead skin as possible. So even though this can be a home care product that a guest would use, I know that the way I bring my experience and my hands and my knowledge to the service really brings much more value to it than if they were to simply use this mask at home by themselves. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm really getting a lot of debris that's being picked up by this mask. But what's phenomenal is because of the jojoba and the it is still rather moisturizing, and the jojoba acts as a buffer where it's not over exfoliating. It also smells phenomenal. This is called our skin polish, and I've had many guests tell me that they were hungry or wanted to eat it because it smells like lemon, and it's just so lovely. So like I said, even though I'm massaging in both directions, my emphasis is on the upward stroke so that I can continue to lift the skin. So doing long strokes so that I can roll off the dead skin. You can even do a hand over hand technique if you wanted to be able to continue that long stroke. Around the nose, be careful not to plug both nostrils at the same time. I think sometimes we need to be reminded of that. We get too excited to be doing some simultaneous movements, but I've had many facials where my esthetician is not paying attention and I can't breathe. And that's not nice to can't breathe in your service. That is going to induce the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, which is not helpful for our parasympathetic nervous system to relax and recover. So I feel like this is nicely exfoliated now. The skin feels very clear. Most of the product I have dusted off onto the towel on the table. Her skin is starting to look very hydrated, and there's still some of the product left. So what I want to do is grab some of my due date, which is our facial oil that is phenomenal. It smells amazing. I'm going to use one pump, and I'm going to quickly emulsify and just kind of press into the skin. This is going to help me to pick up the rest of the product and the rest of the dead skin. With the hot towel, it'll remove a little bit better. Plus, it's another boost of moisture, and it smells wonderful. So when we bring in a lot of sensory experiences to the facial, it becomes more memorable and more relaxing too. Okay, now that we've had a really nice exfoliation, I'm feeling your skin, it feels so supple and soft. Now I want to make sure that I am taking advantage of this freshly exfoliated skin and putting on very important product. For anti-aging, we know that typically we need to work on some of the deepest layers of the skin. And so I'm going to be using my products that I know are phenomenal carrier oils that will deliver ingredients that are phenomenal for anti-aging, for increasing firmness because they have a lot of hyaluronic acid. For example, my Sotox and my One Drop Wonder together are just my holy grail products for anti-aging because the One Drop Wonder is pure permifera oil, which is an antioxidant, it's antimicrobial, it's antibacterial, and it can help reduce hyperpigmentation. This is amazing. So then I'm going to also use our Sotox, which has a lot of hyaluronic acid. The Sonji mushroom is proven to also help reduce hyperpigmentation and bring a ton of health to the skin. So I'm going to mix these together and create a sort of a mask. Then I'll have sit prior to I'm going to massage it in. So here we go. I need to get more Sotox. 2 pumps of Sotox, and then 2 drops of my One Drop Wonder. I'm going to very lightly mix it up. I'm going to paint it on. I'm going to let this product sit on the top of the skin for a little while, but like I said, I'm going to be massaging it in, which is going to help with product penetration. This will also give a layer of moisture while, especially just after the exfoliation. Like I had mentioned earlier, using different methods of application can feel wonderfully sensory and sensual for the client, and it helps to engage the parasympathetic nervous system in a different way. So I love to bring in some brushes like this. So while that sits, I'm going to be performing massage on the shoulders and décolleté, the neck, shoulders, and décolleté. And to massage, I'm going to start with some of my Midnight Oil Serum. This is an argan oil serum, and it has phenomenal slip. I'm going to just do a couple drops across the décolleté. I'm going to introduce this to the face in a little bit, but I figure it would be a great start for the décolleté. I'm also going to grab some massage oil. So as I'm not using just the other product, just Midnight Oil, because that would be quite expensive for using enough for slip. So I would recommend while this treatment mask sets, I'm going to be doing about 5 minutes worth of massage, and I recommend some effleurage so as to relax the muscles, especially since I am not a massage therapist and I do not perform deep tissue services. So it helps to warm up the shoulders, to work around the arms, and have her turn her head. How's the pressure?
It's good.
Good. It's important to check in with the pressure and make sure that you're not causing any stress. So when it comes to the face, I recommend to do upward effleurage to move the facial muscles in an upward direction, and this is also going to help with product penetration. This is also very deeply relaxing to the client. And right now I have a lot of slip with the Sotox and One Drop Wonder, but if your guest is particularly dehydrated, you can always add in some midnight oil to the face for added slip. So from here, I'm going to do a more targeted massage on the areas of her concern. So she talked about dryness in this area around the temples, and then some lack of collagen and elastin in the chin. So I feel like I've already addressed a lot of the dehydration in the temples, so I'm going to focus right now on the chin. I'm going to actually introduce to her face our Eye Rise Serum. So while this is essentially created for the eye area, it is phenomenal for anti-aging and dealing with fine lines and wrinkles. It has a lot of humectants. It has some hibiscus in it and carob bark, which are just phenomenal for firming. This is one of the products that I've truly seen an immediate effect when used around the eyes and different areas of the lack of collagen and elastin. But it also has effects over time. So they have some really great before and after photos with this. So for this area, I am going to actually just simply put a drop, squeeze a drop onto the area of concern. I'm going to gently massage it in. And since she mentioned around the eyes too, might as well put some there. Because honestly, a little goes a long way, and it is possible to use too much of this, especially around the eyes. So right now I'm just doing a gentle massage. I know that the Sotox and the One Drop Wonder are already nice and deep and working on the skin, and then this will continue to go deep too. I'm going to bring in one of my gua sha tools. So I have a jade gua sha tool, and I want to do a targeted focus massage on this area. So most often with collagen and elastin breaking down, it's because those microfibers in our skin have kind of broken apart. So they've shown that massage in those areas can really actually reunite the fibers and help it to kind of recreate and rebuild. So gua sha tools are an ancient Chinese technique where you use gemstones to essentially scrape the skin. And what it does is it creates like a deep tissue massage, of sorts, for the facial skin. It reinvigorates the collagen and elastin that are deep within our skin. So if you don't have a gua sha tool, you could use your fingers to really work the product and to really reinvigorate that micro fibers of the skin. But I love gua sha because it has such a phenomenal sensation, and energetically it is a great way to do it. So you can use the different notches and the tools for different areas, like a mandible slide, some lymphatic drainage that way, or just slide it against the skin. I recommend that you kind of study some gua sha or take some lessons. Right now I'm just doing some mindless work because it's kind of hard for me to focus while I talk. But nonetheless, this is going to invigorate the skin and allow the product to penetrate really deeply. So the next thing I'm going to do for product penetration is a 2-step process where I'm going to be doing a vasodilation treatment. So I'm going to start with some heat therapy where I'm going to bring in a warm towel. I'm going to drip it across your skin and let it just sit there. It's going to allow the product to penetrate really deeply. And then I'm going to be performing a hand and arm massage or a foot massage depending on what your guest prefers. So, and then I'm going to work through a jade roller technique where I'm going to introduce some cool therapy to have the skin really kind of get some exercise and increase circulation and then nutrition to the skin. For the hand massage, I'm going to be using our 40 Cure Cream, which is Temnu oil in it, which is just so hydrating and beautiful. I love this stuff. It has phenomenal slip for massage too. Our 40 Cure Cream is beautiful. So, I'm going to stand here and do the hand massage. I'm not really in the camera. I'll make this short and sweet. I recommend you do a total of 4 minutes of massage here, perhaps 2 minutes on each appendage that you want to do. I love to also, especially when doing a foot massage, I will bring in warm towels to help create some heat therapy in the feet. And I like to use the 40 Cure Cream on the feet as well because it has such great slip and hydration too. So now that we did the heat therapy on the skin, I'm going to lightly take this off because I don't actually want to do product removal. I'm not going to be using it to swipe and remove product. But the next step, I'm going to actually take a dry towel and drape it across the chest in preparation for placing another warm towel. And this is going to make the heat compress, which will allow her décolleté to stay warm, her body to stay warm, as I am utilizing the jade rollers for a cool therapy. So I typically like to introduce to my guests that this is going to have a cool touch. And the rollers are going to assist with lymph movement, lymphatic drainage, lymphatic health. And I'm going to start on the décolleté as to clear the lymphatic ways. And I'm going to work through the neck. And along the jawline and up the face. So the jade rollers bring in a layer of coolness, which is going to help with the vasodilation and constriction, vasoconstriction, and also firm the skin and induce a cooling effect, which can feel really soothing to the skin. I typically do this for much longer, but because I want to make this rather educational and entertaining it in a way, I don't necessarily want to do them in real time. So now I'm going to feel the skin. It feels so lovely, very balanced, not too warm. And now my last step is I'm going to do some protect. So with protecting, My goal is to really bring in moisture, really bring in some of the, let's say I'm going to do a drop of the eye rise, and I'm going to place it with just the tip on the under eye area very lightly and above the eyes. And I'm going to massage with the cooling ceramic tip. I'm careful to not move it over the hole because I want to keep this sanitary for my guests. And after I'm done using this, I'm going to cleanse it. I'm going to sanitize it with some alcohol. I'm actually going to leave this out so I can sanitize it.